Welcome to Watching Football Week with your host, one half of that dynamic duo, Sean Spencer, and South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer.
Don't play us if you're undefeated.
Where we celebrate past success while looking to a bright future. There's a youth movement in Washington, and they're ready to take the reins. Led by firefighters.
Play aggressive.
It's a new day. New dawn. No longer the laughing stock. It's time to take. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. Happy Hump Day! You know who I'm with. I'm with my guys on Washington Football Weekly. This guy right here, South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer. What up, Will?
Sean, we are in freezing temperatures down here. I'm having to wear winter hats and warm socks just to stay warm in the house. It's ridiculous, but we're talking playoff football, so I'll get over it.
That's right. Yes, sir. And you know who? You see this guy. Under me. You know, he's got that skeleton, that Emmanuel Forbes outfit on. Hey, we call our guy the shirtless wonder. My guy, Mr. Ablo.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I appreciate it, Sean. Thanks, man. I love being here with you guys talking playoff football. Yeah. Have we talked playoff football before? It's been a long time.
4 years.
It's been 4 years
ago.
It feels good now, gentlemen. It feels good now.
Oh, it absolutely does. As a matter of fact, I have a clip from that year. I was a little overexcited, but you get the gist. Here's me and Janae.
And hot. Coming in at that 4 seed, baby. And hot. Division leader. Division champ.
You won one game in the last 4 weeks and you coming in hot?
Division champ.
I can't. Coming.
I was a little overexcited. 4 weeks. I was overexcited. I thought I had more excitement for our team. We had finally gotten there. But look, I think it's safe to say, gentlemen, that this time, a lot different experience. We're feeling a little bit better about this playoff run. What do you guys think about that?
You take it first, Ab.
Oh, well, I don't want to spoil too much. I think we're going to dive into it a little later. But honestly, I thought we had a good chance last time. I know we wasn't a losing record. We had we won the division with a losing record. Is that what happened? Yeah,
7-9. I think we went.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I know. We won the division and it was crap, but I still had a good feeling, and we almost pulled it off if I remember correctly. So yeah, we almost pulled it off, but then but this time I feel a lot better, a lot more motivated, and a lot more confident. Like I say that with my whole chest, gentlemen. Oh yeah, my whole chest.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's that calm, even though, maybe we haven't been here in a while, every time we've had a tough game or a tough outing or some type of matchup, we have this guy at JD5 that seems to come in and keep us, just give us that confidence. We always know we're in the game. And then, again, like you said, we'll get into it a little bit with Will. It's just kind of like, we're not limping into the playoffs right now. We're getting guys back from injury, the whole nine. Like, we're really getting ready.
We haven't had this feeling since 2005. And even before, no, I would even say 1999, because in 2005 and 2007, in 2012, we had to win to get in. You know, we were able to do the same thing in 2020. 2015, actually, we had a pretty good team and we were kind of on the rise. But this does feel different because we're not just barely making in, as you guys said. We have a legit team right now. We have a team that other fans are looking at going, I don't want to play Washington. We had the Rams who said, you know what? We're going to lose this on week 17, week 18. We're going to lose our last game of the season because we'd rather play the Vikings than have Jaden Daniels come in here. When are we a part of those conversations?
Come on. It's a good feeling in this area, and I love it, every bit of it. And we're going to go ahead and talk about it. But real quick, definitely want to shout out one of Let's Talk Football's own, our guy, Nicholas Rosario. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I know he went out and celebrated. I think his birthday was yesterday. Went out and celebrated with his family. Definitely living out in Chicago. He is the host of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Definitely wanted to shout him out. Definitely a friend of the show and a friend of ours. So happy birthday to you.
Quick question. Did Chicago make it to the playoffs?
No.
Oops.
No, they didn't. No, they
Happy
didn't.
Birthday.
As a matter of fact, they were having a solid season, and they were toe-to-toe with the rest of their division, and then this happened.
And it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! It's a miracle!
Insane. It's still insane. That play.
I called it, gentlemen. I like maybe a few weeks later when they first started their losing streak. Like I went on the ladies show and I was like, "Hey, did that Washington loss like break their spirits? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did it break the team?" They were like, "No, I don't think it broke the team." That shit broke that team, bro.
Yes, it did.
That broke
It might
the
take a
team.
minute, but they fired the offensive coordinator. They fired the head coach. Their whole season got derailed. But thank you though for beating the Packers. That was nice. But look, let's get into it. This is Washington Football Weekly. We appreciate you guys joining us. We got some Tampa people on to talk the playoffs a little bit later. But before we do that, we wanted to get into a couple things with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Washington not only is going to the playoffs, but the reason why we're comfortable, Washington won 12 games this year. I'm looking back through the time, and I'm like, when was the last time we got up to this place? And was it 91, Will?
Yeah.
We went 14-2 and won the Super Bowl. Last time we got this many wins. Talk about this, man. 12-5. I didn't see this coming.
Nobody can say that they saw this coming. You know, I mean, we heard the quiet confidence. We knew that, well, some of us knew that we had drafted a good quarterback that was probably going to win us some games. Some people were still skeptical of the decision, but some of us were like, no, that we've got a guy that's going to win some games. And so we're going from 4 wins. You're like, you gotta be thinking we're at least middle of the pack, making progress to really go after it in year 2. And the way they came out and played, and the way the fight that this team has always had, where no game seemed out of reach. Every single time they got down, they would start to rally. You could have quarterbacks getting injured. You could have players going out. You could have a scheme not working. And then it's like, okay, second half comes, adjustments happen, and they claw their way back. And it's been a really, really fun season, not just because of the winning, but also just like watching this team. The coaches get along, the players get along, all the crap that we've had to endure for so many seasons just kind of so quickly washed away and changed that it's been incredible.
Yeah. No, it's been a sight to see. And Ab, I mean, to its point, we legitimately only won 4 games last year. Now, we were in a number of games, but, unfortunately, our former quarterback was not able to get us over 4 wins. We're for whatever reason, we're here. But when we look at this and we look at the 12 games, we had the Hail Mary, but we had the Cardinals game where we dropped 40 on them. We went 34-13 on. We dominated some of these teams. Even the easy games we won, the competitive games, we weren't out of any game this year. 12-5, and I argue that some of you look at some of those 3 losses, those could have easily been wins without 1 or 2 plays switch it up. What are you thinking about this record and as look at us going forward?
So you guys mentioned it earlier. We're not out of any game, not one bit. And that's crucial. That in itself, I think that was one of our issues for years, is that we always, like, if it was a close game, we lost it. Like, there was no confidence in that. And but now we like, especially when it comes down to like the nitty gritty, that last drive, I'm very confident in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I almost feel we got our own Patrick Mahomes back there. You know what I'm saying? I said it. I said it with my whole chest too.
Let's go.
We have our own Patrick Mahomes back there. It is so clutch that it's ridiculous, gentlemen. Like, this shit is really ridiculous that when it, like, I feel if it's a 1-score game going into the 4th quarter, we've got it. And it's not even just it's not even JD5. Just JD5. Our defense steps up too. It's like, we need one more possession. 3 and out. It's like everybody knows, it's like we'll turn it on. And I hate that type of football, by the way, but we get the win. You know what I mean? So I'm like, honestly, I'm all about the win. My heart can't take those decisions at the end.
Yeah. And listen, I do know one thing. This quarterback, he beat Dallas in his first try. That's all I'm saying. But in reality, like, that Dallas, even that game, that had me kind of going back to being like, well, what? This is a terrible team. Dak's not even in this game. Like, we should be winning these. And a lot of these different ones in there, you go through these moments where you're like, okay, all right. Why are we, like, the Saints game? Like, this game should be over. Why? But it's still that fight, that hanging in there, even when the defense gets tired, even when nothing's working, we always come together, like you were saying, and I love it. And going forward, you talk about momentum. I've used this in college football. Momentum is a hell of a drug. And when you get that going and us playing, I mean, we're hot right now. We're definitely coming in hot. And, I'm excited, man. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah, no, and like you said, it's down to the point, and it's not going to be one of my keys to victory. But I thought about it. I was saying, like, you can't give us the ball last. Yep. We are that team where if you give us the ball last, I don't want to jinx it. So when teams have given us the ball last, we have made them pay. There we go. That's I'm trying to make it safe. I would just like to point out here, there's 2 things that I was just looking up here. Me being in a place that I'm not allowed to bet on sports, but I was in the state of North Carolina in August. I put a wager on the Commanders making the playoffs, and I put a wager on Jaden Daniels winning Rookie of the Year. And I'm about to cash out, and I'm about to get some money on my guy's golf trip that I've now earned from this. So
let's go.
Now, I had a good feeling. Yeah, you were talking about it. Jaden is like Patrick Mahomes. I had a good feeling that this guy was going to be pretty good. Like, just kind of seeing what he was like at LSU and the way the NFL works, and a rookie quarterback, the ability to run buys them extra time, makes them even more of a weapon. But man, did I not think he would be this good. I did not think he would be this elusive as a runner. I did not think he would be able to process the field as much as he can and be unflappable out there. That's the part that is just so impressive about him is he doesn't show himself to be a rookie. And he also, Sean, we talked about this last week, at times in the fourth quarter, there's less than 5 minutes left and a play happens and he goes and smiles at the opponent. And I'm sitting there like, F these guys. I don't like them right now. And then he can call the next play and just go right back into player mode. He has been such a difference maker to where for the first time since ever that I've been a fan of the Washington football franchise, we have a player that the rest of the league would like to have on their team.
Yes, sir.
I've never been able to say that before.
And I love everything about that. And it's his demeanor. You alluded to that about how he is after the play. Just the fact that he is just so even kill. I mean, after turnovers, a lot of people, veterans, get rattled. He never seems to get rattled. And I mean, this is 12 hard-earned wins. This record is indicative of him, but also what Quinn has built, Peters, and all those guys doing that thing. And I'm excited for it. But the other thing, we always talk about this. What do we always say? Barring injury, these guys we had a couple injuries towards the late end of the season, but we got some guys that are coming back. Will, I'm gonna come to you. I know Lattimore, as he had full participation. Eckler, potentially, Biotish. Who else is that it, or who all else is coming back?
The other one that's kind of key that I can't believe I'm actually going to say this is key, but Cornelius Lucas is getting healthy again. But and the reason why I bring him up is we saw this on Sunday when Brandon Coleman got hurt. We had Trent Scott out there at left tackle. It's like that. He is not a serviceable offensive lineman, and so Cornelius Lucas was brought in to be the left tackle this year. In previous years, he's until Coleman was ready. In previous seasons, he's been our swing tackle, left and right tackle as the backup. I think it's just a comfort feeling to know that if Wiley's gone out this year with concussions, Coleman all of a sudden for the first time, he got hurt during a game. To have going into a playoff game now, your next guy that can fill on either side of the line is really, really helpful. But the names you mentioned before are the ones that I think we're going to really see an impact. I was very surprised that Austin Eckler came back last week. I thought he was trending that way. We knew he was trending to come back, but I just assumed he was waiting until Tampa. But I think, it was probably a situation where he wanted to just kind of get out there a little bit prior to the playoff game. Your concussions are weird. It's not the same thing as a broken bone or a torn something, and so everyone's recovery is different. So having him back, I think, is going to be really important. It's no coincidence that our running game has really gone down since he got hurt against the Cowboys. I mean, ever since then, aside from the Titans game, we have not been able to run the ball really well. And I think he can bring a whole outside of our quarterback. Exactly. Yeah. That's become our run game. So I think that's huge. And then the fact that our defense is still very, very concerning. But when we had a game against a big-time receiver, we had a corner who could go toe-to-toe with him. He didn't shut him down, and I don't expect him to shut down Mike Evans, but he played a whole lot better than anyone else on our team has ever played. And getting someone like Lattimore back to go toe-to-toe with someone to travel with him across the field, I think is going to be a big boost. With Biotish, he's the anchor of our offensive line. They have over 30 sacks based on their defensive linemen and one of their linebackers, Yaya Diaby, but he's a pass rusher. So our offensive line is going to have to be ready for their pass rush, and to bring back our centers is going to be huge. What do you all think about which one do you think is the most important of these guys coming back?
What do you think, man?
You can tell the difference in play when Tyler, I'm going to call him Badass because that's literally what he is. It's like Tyler Badass. When he's not in the game, you can tell there's the offense isn't
Right.
It isn't.
Right.
It really isn't.
Quarterback.
It's something missing. It's like they aren't clicking. And Will, in our chats earlier, you were right. Like I thought I was the only one that noticed it, but it's when that Dieter, is that his name, the center?
Mm-hmm.
When he comes in, offense is ass straight up. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like they can't run their offense anymore. And it blows my mind that one player affects the whole offense. And that's how detrimental it is without Tyler Badass in the game.
Yeah.
And my guy, like that is, I'm trying to tell you that dude is by far the most important returning player that there is so far. Like I just, to have him come back has me even more confident than I was before about how we were going to turn this game, how this revenge game is going to go in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Sean?
I totally agree. It always you guys know me of all people. You know, when I do my mock 53, I got room for at least 20 old linemen. I don't use 20, but I got room for 20 just in case. So if that means we lose some receivers, that means some corners get left on the wayside, that's fine. But yeah, definitely Biotish back in there. But look, I'd be remiss if I didn't go to my position like we always do. And honestly, when we had Eckler in there, we had the 1-2 punch that I think somebody like B-Rob needs. I don't know that B-Rob can be just the bell cow, the Derrick Henry. I think he needs a little bit of help, and I think he benefited from Gibson before and Eckler now. But also, Eckler is such a threat in the pass game. So him and Ertz are Jaden's dump offs. That's where his safety valves. He's able to hit them out. That's going to be something huge when we have against their high rush pass defense. So for me, it's absolutely, I mean, Biotish for sure, but having Eckler back in there, I just think giving Jaden more weapons is it can only be helpful to us right now. And I know they're dealing with some injuries in their defense. So any way that we can take advantage of that is 100% what I'm leaning towards. So yeah, Eckler for me for sure.
Yeah, well, all three of these of our starters that are coming back here are going to play such a big role for us on Sunday in changing the complexion of our team. Ab, you talked about it with Biotish and just with what their pass rush coming in and the ability for the offensive line to be a lot better of a cohesive unit. And they were atrocious against the Cowboys, last week. Partly I think that's why Dan Quinn was like, and we're done with Jaden, because he was just under duress the whole time. What we have to remember with the Bucs is they are really good against the run defense. They are really bad against the pass. And that's exactly, Sean, when you're talking about your guy Eckler, where he can play a role in a different way that B-Rob can. His ability to, as a pass blocker and the ability to get out and be that safety valve for Jaden is going to be needed this week. Just because, that we are going to have to be able to move the ball through the air, and it may be based on utilizing screens and dump offs, stuff when the defense has already kind of left the field and guys are open. But also with Lattimore back, it's going to allow for us to get better matchups. I kind of talked a little bit about going up against Mike Evans, but with them not having Chris Godwin anymore, who torched us in week 2, he got 40% of his touchdowns in the season came against us in week 1. Now we've got Lattimore to line up against Evans, and we can put Sandra still on McMillan, who's taken over as their wide receiver too. And that is going to provide a whole lot of better matchups for us going into this. There's some other pieces that I'm nervous about with them offensively, but all three of these guys coming back are just going to make us that much better. And it's great timing, and maybe it's no coincidence that they're available for the playoffs, just like Jonathan Allen became available for the playoff run, than they weren't before, but it's great to have them back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and shout out to that. I love that matchup, that Samerstill versus McMillan matchup. For those of you who don't know, Samerstill played at Michigan, and in the college football playoff, they played in the championship game. They played Washington, where McMillan played. So that matchup has happened before. So I feel a lot more confident knowing that he's got that. And look, the more weapons definitely can help. And I'm excited about that. You have to watch McMillan and White in the pass game. Rashad White and also Bucky Irvin. Those are definitely two guys that I'm definitely we got my eye on. We got people watching. My nephew Cameron said, "WWJD, what would Jaden do?" My buddy Jim said, in retrospect, you kind of see Jaden had speed around him. He's always had an arm. Decision making was the only thing that cut him short in college, but that's something I think that he's done a great job with in the pros. His decision making, early in the season he was a lot more safe, but I think as he's been get more comfortable with the offense, he's been really starting to kind of trust his guys. And now later in the season, we're seeing he's getting to the point where he's like, I don't see it. I'm taking this upon myself, and that's where I think he's kind of elevated his game, where it's like, okay, game on the line, I need to step up to that next level. Bucky is only behind Barkley and Henry in yards per carry. Oh wow.
Yeah, I had no idea when I saw what his production this year.
So you guys know that like I love taking the opportunity to be like, I was right.
Yep.
So like to pat myself on the back. I just want to say Bucky Irving was one of my guys last year, gentlemen.
Yep.
Like one of
Yes,
my main guys in my mock draft. So
yep.
You know, like and like just a preview. That's part of one of those like on my show, Sean. It's going to be like take a little opportunity to be like, I was right. So just want to know,
just so you know,
I was right.
You know, I was actually, I have that as one of my talking points for our next segment. Was going to say, you know, Ab, you mentioned Bucky Irving, Sean, you and Alex were talking about this guy. I had no idea who this guy was, but you were like, this guy's going to be something. And then in week one, he showed some flashes, but then, you look at his rookie season, you're like, doggone, he had a heck of a rookie season.
Right.
And can you imagine what that was like? Because literally, like what Bucky Irvin, like honestly, is very similar to Austin Eckler, and really, I was sitting there saying that's what we needed on our offense because we weren't going to have Antonio Gibson anymore. So I was like, this would make our offense pop. Just imagine if we had a Bucky Irving on our team. Just
come on,
just putting it out there, gentlemen.
Yep.
I was right.
Yep. Oh, hey. Ladies and gentlemen, look forward to that coming soon. That was a quick little sneak preview. Absolutely. Yep. I love it. Yo, shout out to my guy, EK Holiday, Eric Kelly watching. Jay is watching. Tisha Bowman watching. All you Washington fans, what is going on? We are so glad that we can be here with you. Johnny's saying, fully rested Sean Tucker sitting right behind Bucky also. Hey, that's the thunder to Bucky's lightning. For sure. Well, look, we talked about it. We played these guys before in week one. That was, the coming out party for Jaden Daniels. We were all excited to see what he had. Unfortunately, the team hadn't really gelled. Things didn't really match. It looked like one season playoff team against one team that was coming off a 4-12 season, or 4-13 season. We were still had a lot to struggle. We didn't score till late in the game. We ended up losing 37-20. And Ab, I'm coming to you first. This team that's playing right now and the team that we saw in week one, two entirely different teams. But what can we take from that first matchup that might help us in this game?
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
What can we take anything from the first game? Any lessons, anything that we saw from them? Tackle Baker, because how many sacks did he get out of?
So to me, we're playing completely different than what we were before. Honestly, It's almost like it's almost like a fresh new game. Like to me, I that's how I kind of look at it. Like, yeah, you're going to look at the tape, you like, look at their offenses and look on what their defenses is. But I think Jaden can literally take from the game. It's like he had a lot of wide open people that first game, and he didn't take it. But but he's gotten so much better that I'm confident that he's already resolved that. It wasn't nothing special that they did. It's literally it was almost like that was his one mental game of the year. Like every other game, mostly every other game, he's played almost like pretty much 100% exceptionally. But this game, I think that's where he showed his nerves. That's where he was just like, I'm not confident. My dude is gonna take these guys by storm. I see. Here's Johnny. I think he looks like he's a Tampa Bay fan. We about to dog walk y'all asses, bro. Ooh. Like I don't even see it being close. If he learned his lesson and these receivers actually catch the damn ball, this game's not close at all.
Ooh. Oh, I like that. John, look, you scared my man away. He said,
"Hey,
he said I gotta go."
Score predictions for this.
Oh,
You're sharing his too early. I know, but
I'm sorry.
I'm surprised at what Johnny predicted. That's what he's gonna miss it. But I was shocked to see that. And the amount of stuff he's been telling me already behind the scenes.
You definitely had to predict that. Yeah. And I think if anything, you look back, I agree that these is two different teams. This is two different games that you could look at. And if anything, one thing we saw that we can say is similar, Will, is Jaden never quit. Even towards the very end, he scores a touchdown late in the third quarter. He scores a touchdown with like 2 minutes to go in the game. He continued to try to lift his team up. And that's something that's been consistent throughout this season. So as we look at this game, I mean, yes, we got whooped 37-20 in week one. Most of the game wasn't close. Our secondary was not, good at all. We knew all those things. But now we have a better feel for our team. Our secondary with Lattimore should be better with him being healthy. How should we look at this game, especially with it being a playoff game?
I mean, everything you guys said is I 100% agree with. It was actually kind of funny. I was listening to a reporter from Tampa, I think for Sports Illustrated, and he was saying, that first game actually almost became a preview of what Jaden was going to do, where in the second half of games, he just takes over. And whether he says, F it, I'm going to do it myself, or he gets everyone involved with the pass game. Because like you just said, Sean, that's exactly what he did. He kept bringing us back, and we are a different defense now. We just went over the matchups that we could not do. Remember, in his debut, Mikey Sanderstill struggled against the Bucs. And we kind of walked away from that game going, didn't foresee that coming. Well, It was his very first game. And, since then he has been a tremendous draft pick, not just, moving over positions. He's been a heck of a player out there, and he's a huge competitor. And so I think that changes the whole dynamic of us defending against Tampa. So, but we do know this is going to be playoff football. There's going to be nerves out there. There always is. Things get tighter. We're all kind of thinking it's going to be a shootout, and who knows? This could be the type of game that goes 16-13 because players just aren't able to fully execute, be loose, all that kind of stuff. The Bucs are thinking they've got championship aspirations. We're saying we want to continue this high ride. So you never really know. But I'm with you guys in agreement where it's a brand new season. They talk about it. The playoffs are a whole, Dan Quinn already said season 2 starts right now. And I'm excited to be in this situation. I'm excited that it's January and we're not talking about who's going to be our next head coach. That's awesome.
Quarterback.
Or who's going to play quarterback for us. Thank you, Ab.
3 or 4 years. I was almost right. 3 or 4 years. But we're right now. We got our guy. And like you said, this is a different feeling. It's a nice thing to be worried about going into the playoffs and looking at an opponent in this way. And look, all intents and purposes, I'm with you, Ab. Like, honestly, if we play our game with some of the injuries that they have and the way that we're trending up, I think we should get this game by a couple scores. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I think after week one, those of us that were kind of skeptical on things had a little, extra, something to say because it looked rough. But to your point about Samerstill, Will, it was the first game for everybody, for Dan Quinn, for Cliff Kingsbury, for the quarterback, for the line, everybody. It was that first game, and we were going up against a team that was a playoff team the year before, a team that had gone toe-to-toe with the Detroit Lions that has been a good team. So, and Todd Bowles against rookie quarterbacks, he favored well. He's saying, what's up, Chris? Saying he has something up his sleeve. Hey, and he knows how to play us. And the funny thing about this whole situation is if you look back when Todd Bowles played in the NFL, he played for Washington for a couple years, including for the Redskins. Oh, yeah. Super Bowl 22, where we won 42-10 over the Broncos. He was in that game. I believe he made an interception, if I'm not mistaken. So it's always funny to see us play each other. And look, we're going to get into this game. You guys have anything else?
I got to say, I kind of have to agree with Chris here. And I'm a little bit surprised that you guys are so bullish on our chances. Just kind of looking at the Bucs team that they have. Did you all know? And this may be catching everybody by surprise. It caught me by surprise this week. Did you know that Baker Mayfield threw for 4,500 yards this year and 41 touchdowns? Like this guy went from being, Bucs fans. I bet you Faubert can say this, but like he went from going in like last year, like hey, Baker's okay. This guy's okay. He's serviceable. To all of a sudden he's Baker effing Mayfield now. Like this is the guy that the Browns drafted number 1 overall. That John Dorsey, he can be sitting there saying, "I told y'all, I wasn't wrong to draft him number 1." The Browns just showed how much their organization sucks, and the Panthers organization sucks. That this guy wasn't, put in the right position to be successful. They've got, we already talked about Bucky Irving. He ran for over 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, and he didn't start at the beginning of the season. Rashad White ran for 600. What do we suck at on defense? Running the ball.
Defense.
Yeah. You got Mike Evans that we got to hope Lattimore can cover, but our pass defense is a thing we're not very proud of. And then they have over 30 sacks by their team, by their on their defensive linemen. I was looking at ours, just kind of, well, how did we compare? Our linebackers have 18 sacks. Yeah. That's Luvu and Fowler combined. So I am a little bit more like I'm excited about what I got, but I can't say I'm not as bullish as you guys are and as confident that how well we're going to play against these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, having been there before, the experience of having been there before for the Bucs is the thing that scares me the most. Them being there, them having dealt with stuff like that before, and us just being the newness of it, because we're almost coming into a similar situation as we did in week 1, where this is a new experience. Like Dan said, this is a new season. Things are a lot different. And some of the things kind of line up with their run offense against our rush defense. But at the same time, I just feel like I'm also looking at it in ways that we could exploit them. And with their injuries on their secondary and things like that. But look, we're going to get into that. Let's get into that. We're going to bring in our Bucs guy in just a second. We're going to take a quick breather and shout out our guy Anton Benton, Austin Artisans, and then we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Yeah, buddy, that was my guy, Anton Benton, host of Washington Football Roundtable. He is the creator, founder of Awesome Artisans on Instagram, awesome_artisans. Definitely get in touch with him. He does great work. He travels, currently living in the Virginia Beach area, but he definitely will travel up and down the East Coast. Yo, we are here. You know what it is. It's my guy, Will Kramer. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. Ben, I see your comment. Absolutely, we do.
Yes.
I know the chat's in there, so definitely going to get you guys in. Hey, we wanted to preview this. And first and foremost, Will, have we ever, is this the first time on this show where we are previewing a playoff matchup?
It is.
I
think
don't
it
think
is.
we've ever done it.
No.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a new day. It's a new dawn.
Yes. Let's go. Wild card weekend. The Washington Commanders are going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have some guests. Ben, when you get a chance, come on here. Before we do that, without further ado, we got to bring in our guy, creator of North Sports Dynasty. You know his name, Andrew Foos Phobe. What up, Andrew?
Oh my God, I'm muted. What a great intro to start off the day. I was muted. What is up,
Let's go.
everybody?
How we
What's up,
doing?
man? How you doing?
I'm good. How the heck have we been, Jen?
We're good. We're good. Starting off the year, a little colder than normal. We don't like the fact that it's about 27 degrees outside right now. Don't really need that.
I'll
Yeah,
take 27. The Fahrenheit or Celsius? Because I'll take 27 Celsius. That's for sure.
I have to keep bringing in my lemon tree every night so it doesn't freeze.
You have a lemon tree?
Trying to. That's my goal for 2025. Grow my own lemons.
I wish I could grow lemon trees.
You right?
Well, look, real quick before we, if I'm not mistaken, and Will, maybe you can check this on the weather. I heard is there going to be a cold front in Tampa?
I believe yeah. No, it's hold on, and I should be respectable about this because I know how it kind of gets a little bit crazy here, especially in Texas when you guys have snow. What is going on? Don't you guys have you got the wildfires going on in California, which really sucks right now. That really sucks. Thoughts and prayers to everybody there. But then it's you go for an 8, 9, maybe 10-hour drive south to Texas and it's snowing?
Right.
Frigid.
What is happening?
Right.
I don't know. But
you're wearing a
apparently
jacket.
It's supposed to be oh yeah. And I'm still a little chilly. All right, jacket and a hoodie inside. Okay, it's still a little chilly. But look, it might be a little cool over there. But look, before we do, we gotta bring your buddy in, our buddy too, host of Have At It, Mr. Ben Cornett. What up, Ben?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey,
Ben!
Always good.
Andrew.
Ben joined us in week 1 to talk about this.
Right? Hold on, let me get this back. Why? I was like, come on, Cameron, don't do this to me right when Ben gets here. Like, come on. But yeah, dude, I did the stash thing. And then of course I do the stash thing and everybody's just like, oh dude, why have you never done the stash thing? And I'm like, because I always thought I looked like an idiot with the stash. And now Kim's just like, all right, fine.
No.
Thing, man.
We gotta keep the stash now.
That is hot, bro. That is hot.
It is.
Yes, sir. So Ben, hey, talk to us, man. Playoff weekend. We're here. We've all been here before. I don't think any of us really were that as cool as we are now. I don't think we were the last time we played. The last time we played, it was the first step on the way to the Super Bowl and a Super Bowl title. This year, I wouldn't say not so much, but what are your thoughts, man, coming into this game and the season?
Oh, it's definitely a tale of two different seasons. I mean, look, the first game was September, okay? Jaden Daniels had not played an NFL regular season snap yet. So, it was very hard to prepare for him because you don't know. You never had film on him. So, now the Bucs do have film on him, but not only has Jaden Daniels got better, you guys' defense, I would say the last month or so has really gotten better. I mean, Dante Fowler Jr., he got out of that, obscurity called Jacksonville, and he's had a career, renaissance in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Good move there. I mean, Clinton Farrell, Jonathan Allen, that defensive front is really getting better at the right time. So it's going to be a tough game for the Bucs, offensively because, like you said, the defense is starting to get it going, and that's what wins championships. Plus with Jaden Daniels, I mean, my goodness, talk about rookie of the year candidate along with Bo Nix. So this is going to be a very, very close game in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. Well,
Jaden Daniels is gonna run all over us. I'm sorry.
but then on the same spirit, you can say Baker Mayfield. We've seen how well he is, how elusive he is. There was 4 or 5 times where we had him in the first game, but he still figures out a way to get out of the sack and then extends the play. And that's where we're looking at our defense like, oh my goodness, that's where they give him more time. Our secondary might have issues. Like, Andrew, what are you thinking when it comes to Baker and how he has the ability to take over a game himself?
Baker's done a very good job, in my opinion, because of the team that he went to. Like, obviously, everyone's like, well, he was on the Rams, he was on Carolina, but he's been given an opportunity to take a championship winning team and do more with it, to keep the championship mentality rolling. And he's done a fantastic job. Like, and Ben knows this, and a lot of Buccaneer fans know this, right? As soon as he first came in here, I was not a fan because I didn't want to deal with all the drama. I didn't want to do all that kind of stuff. Now it feels right to have Baker in there. It feels right to have him in this system. It feels right that we can have a new offensive coordinator almost every year, and he can succeed in whatever they put in there.
Smart.
Because of his mentality, because of what's being given to him, because he knows the GM and the head coach, well, at least that the GM are going to go and put out a formidable plan to win on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday night or a Thursday night or whatever it be. So he's done a fantastic job. I think he's proper for the Bucs. The one thing I wanted to say, though, because you brought up his scramble ability, his ability to get out of the pocket, his ability to do all that kind of stuff, that is there, and that will remain there. But I would take Jaden's over Baker's, not to say every day or every time, but Jaden has the ability to get to the sticks and then cut that up a lot faster than Baker did. And they showed that on Sunday there when we played the Saints, where he ran a few times. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Liam Cohen calls this random scramble play. Oh my God, finally, look at that. Here I am. They call this random scramble play where he goes off to the left and he just gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, if we're comparing apples to oranges here, like Jaden's out of there. Jaden would back it up and then try the other side because he has that ability. So yeah, Baker's good. He's smart because he'll only do it when he needs to. Right. Jaden just has the ability where if it's like, if that's anything given to him, he's still going to utilize it.
Yeah, I mean, Baker's first read always is going to be, who can I throw this to? Like you said, he's going to run when he has to, and he has the athletic ability to do it. But at the same time with it, he also, the 4,000 yards passing, the 41 touchdowns, he's also leading the league in interceptions. He also likes to get a little greedy out there. He likes to, so because of his first thought is, I got to find an open receiver, it leads to turnover opportunities. Now, I'll give you some good news on this. You're playing a team who can never get turnovers via picks. We are terrible in that situation on defense. It's just not our corner. We don't have the personnel or didn't have the personnel. But I do think it's going to be a fun battle between both quarterbacks. And, the fact that, that's probably why they put this game as the primetime game, as they want this to be a quarterback showcase. I'm sure the league would love that if it's scoring, a very high scoring game. I don't know. You guys, do you know what's the over on it? It's got to be over 50, right?
I'm taking a look at that right now.
Last I checked, I think it was.
Go ahead, Ben. I'm going to take a look.
No, I was just going to say Baker's the modern day Brett Favre.
Okay.
Ooh.
You think so? That much of a
I do.
gunslinger?
Yeah, he can be a gunslinger, but he is smarter. He'll make the throws when he has to. But then sometimes there's going to be moments where he does kind of force it a little bit. He wants to get it to like a Mike Evans, but then it might not be the best play. But that's where you can see sometimes the interceptions. Oh, let's see. What is that?
Is it focused?
Okay.
It's getting there.
49.5.
Okay. So
Sounds
50,
about right.
yeah.
They got it close, that's for sure.
I'd take that.
Oh yeah.
Where is Baker vulnerable? You mentioned a little bit sometimes forcing it to Mike Evans, but where have the 16 interceptions come from?
I think forcing it a little bit. I seen a few intercepts like this. The one this past week against the Saints, not his fault. The ball was tipped.
Okay.
So it changed the trajectory of the ball. But there is times where he will force it. But again, it's something you have to live with because it's Baker. He's going to make those throws 8 out of 10 times, but those 2 out of 10 times will either get picked or knocked down. And you don't want those 2 out of 10 times to show up this week.
Right.
Or any part of the postseason.
In the playoffs.
Otherwise,
Right.
We're going to lose this game, possibly. So I think the most vulnerability is when he himself tries to force it. Not because he can, get away from pressure at times. He'll run when he has to, but it's when he tries to force it, something that's either not there or he's trying to get it to that certain spot with the play call that can sometimes get him in trouble.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So if we were to stick on offense since week 1, how has your team evolved? We saw Godwin got hurt, I think, in that game for a little bit, and then obviously he got hurt later on. But how is your offense different than it was in week 1, or what is the strengths of it now going into the playoffs?
Go for it. Running the football. That's been the key all year.
Say his name, Ben. Say his name.
Bucky freaking Irving.
That's right.
That has
Bucky.
been, and it's just like a godsend. It's like, where was this last year? We needed this out of Rashad White. That's been the difference this year. And again, that's from a different OC now. Dave Canales did not do a very good job of running the football. There's a lot of passing in the offense. And I always say balance is the most important thing in an offense.
Yep.
You have to have balance. You cannot have it more passing than running or vice versa. So that's been a huge difference this year. I will say I would like to see a little more Sean Tucker in this offense. Last week, we did not even have White out on the field. Now, I don't know why that is. Perhaps he's struggling too much, but if we can get all 3 guys in, a cohesive unit running the ball this weekend, I think we have a good chance to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. You know what? One thing I can see I think where we're in the same situation is like you said about Baker, he's doing so well because of the environment. He fits there. He really fits, just like Jaden. And they believe in Baker, just like our front house believes in Jaden. I mean, you see it in certain places. Look at Sam Darnold over there with O'Connell. When you have a symbiotic relationship where they believe in each other and they're working well together, it could be great things. But what we're both going to focus on is how to stop them. Now, obviously, there's injuries on both defenses, but we all know Jaden, yes, and he's going to be good, but Terry's our outside. How are you going to stop? What's your secondary situation like? What injuries on your defense? Like, how are you guys going to kind of stop us on offense, or what do you guys think?
Stopping you guys on offense?
Yeah.
So stop you guys on offense preferably, because I in my opinion we don't have the problem, and I'm gonna get some hate from Buccaneer fans for this. This is the one time we needed Devin White. I'm just gonna say that right now.
As a spy.
Just to cover Jaden Daniels if he were to do a run, because we can game plan specifically for the Scary Terry matchups, because we've done it before in our own division. Leggett was one that we started having to give, looks to, obviously, especially in the double coverage when Winfield was down. Our safeties are, a little bit softer, so they have to start having them cover zone a little bit more. When we cover the number ones, we're not that bad. So we could theoretically have a great defensive scheme, but your X factor on that whole entire thing that can literally throw out any game plan is Jaden Daniels' running ability. And also on top of that too, is the fact that Brian Robinson does have this very underrated pass catching ability in third downs when it is needed. I have seen a stat out there, and I'll try and find it still on Twitter, where it said him on third downs in game where the game is either tied or Washington is basically out of the game, whether they are winning or losing. His percentage was low, but when it came to like, we need this third down and it's not Jaden or Scary Terry, that percentage was like 64, 65. And I'm like, okay, that is an underrated stat that needs to be looked at, especially on Sunday. So we can game plan, but it's Jaden's run ability, and it's that third down pass catching that I think that's going to be our heel.
And see, I would have thought you were going to say Zach Ertz and getting hit over the middle. Is that what you were thinking, Ben?
Yeah, and the reason I say that, guys, is because Zach Ertz is a very underrated tight end in this league. He knows how to run routes, very physical when he's with the football. That worries me a little bit, especially if, Jaden can get the ball out on time. Now, that's another problem. Our front seven can't get pressure all that. We don't have the defensive ends to do that. Vita Vea, when your nose tackle leads the team in sacks, that's a problem. But so I would say Zach Ertz kind of scares me more than anything. We got to make sure our defense keeps a check on him throughout the whole game. That way, if he goes off, then that team's going to go off.
And I was going to say, to keep going on with what he was saying, and that's one of the reasons why I say this is the time where I would like to have a Devin White, is because Levante David is going to have to cover Zach Ertz down the middle, but also have to do that spy coverage a little bit when Jaden's about to run off. And that's going to allow Zach Ertz to have at least 4, 5, 6 catches by the time the fourth quarter has come around.
Yeah. Well, that's Zach Ertz is no longer the yak guy that he used to be, but he is that savvy veteran where in the zone, he knows where to go. He is Jaden's safety valve on third and fourth down. If he's not looking at Terry, and most times teams are going to try and, blanket Terry, he goes to Zach next, or in the red zone, especially on the goal line inside that 5-yard line. Guess who he wants to throw a quick slant to? If it's not Terry, it's going to be Zach Ertz. And, I think that, but also I kind of look at it from the standpoint of this is also going to be the time, Sean, your guy Diami and Olamide Zaccheaus, not because they're dynamic, but they're quick out there when they get the ball in their hands over the middle. Same thing, utilizing the slot. If it's not Zach, it's going to have to be the slot guy kind of taking advantage of it.
Yep.
But tell me more about your defensive line, because I'm reading your stats now. I could have told you going into this conversation. I had not looked. I don't know who Kalijah Cansey is. I don't know who that is. Kalijah. There you go. So there's some names here. I don't know all these players, but I'm looking and I'm like, your defense. You guys just told me your defensive line doesn't have good pass rush, and you have a whole lot more sacks this season than we do.
True, but again, with Vita Vea leading your team in sacks, he's in the middle. Our defensive end guys like Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and Anthony Nelson will get you a couple sacks here and there. Coming in and out of the rotation. We do a 3-4, and it's more of our linebackers like Yaya Diaby, that will get penetration, on the outside to try to get to the quarterback. But I really think this offseason, I know we're not talking about the offseason, but we need to either draft a defensive end or we're going to have to find one in free agency. But that's one of the reasons why our secondary may not be as great, is because we're not getting enough pressure up front. The quarterback's going to have more time in the pocket, especially the good quarterbacks. So that pretty much tells us about our, defensive front seven that does affect. And, I know a lot of people say, our corners are not very good, maybe not the best, but if you don't have a good front seven, your corners are going to be exposed all day. And even more so without Antoine Winfield, who's finally back. He's in, he's a full participant in practice today.
It's huge.
So that's going to be a big help for us. So we got to get pressure on Jaden. You know, if anything else, rush him. Try to make him uncomfortable in that pocket. Try to keep him in the pocket instead of going out of the pocket. That's going to be the key.
Now, this whole thing about sacks, though, I just hate to be that guy because it's playoff time. But, I mean, a lot of the reasons we got a lot of sacks this year is because the people in our division suck. So, just letting you know, thank you to the Falcons and the Panthers and the Saints for not doing so good this year.
That's true.
Also, Kyle, I haven't heard you since you called me.
Now,
Where are you, Kyle?
Now, Kyle and Anthony did tell me. They did tell me that if you guys want to say anything to them from the Falcons, they can still say that the Falcons beat them twice. They did say that to me. Is that
This is funny because the Saints fans said the same thing to us when we won the Super Bowl and we had to go through their butts to get there, dude.
Very true. Very true.
Hard to say when you're on the outside looking in. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
Yep. Get that last one in there. Yo. All right. We are gonna move on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna bring back our guy Ab onto the show and see, you see the divide. Okay, you see the vibe. And we're gonna go into our keys to victory, where we give out our keys. There we go. I can dig it. Our keys to victory. Now, before we do that, we had another one of our Bucks fans that could not make it. He is still working, Nisador, but he definitely wanted to send his keys to victory and his score, kind of his prediction of what would happen. So I'm going to play that real quick, and then we can go around and give out our keys to victory and our score predictions.
Washington, Tampa, wild card weekend. What are my concerns? Where do I think the Bucks have a better shot at a victory? My main concern isn't with Jaden Daniels. It isn't with Scary Terry McLaurin or whatever the hell you guys want to call him. My big concern right now as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan is your tight end. Since Rossier Dennis has went out early in the year, the Bucs coverage of tight ends has been abysmal. We're going to need a great game from our linebackers and our safety/secondary. Bucs should get back Antoine Winfield Jr. They should get back Jamel Dean this week. The injury to Mike Edwards last week, I believe they said it was cramping. But if it was just cramping, he wouldn't have went out as quickly as he did. So I think if he comes back, that gives us more versatility in the back end of the defense. Offensively, the Bucs are going to have to run the ball. You're going to have to see them employ both Bucky Irving and Rachaad White. Keeping Bucky fairly fresh will help the Bucs offense in the long run. The emergence of Jalen McMillan and Devin Culp this season, or actually late in the season, has been a blessing since Bucs are missing key offensive weapons in Chris Godwin and K-Dot, now who's been out for a couple weeks. My prediction for the game is it's going to be whoever has over 30 is going to win this game. I don't think you're going to see a low-scoring game. I think we're looking at an over-under of maybe 50, 55. I don't know. Good luck, Sean. I hope both teams stay healthy. May the best team, the Bucs, win. And we'll see you Sunday on the Crew NFC Roundtable, 9 a.m.
That graphic is so sick.
Yeah, buddy.
That's so sick.
Buddy. Shout out to our guy Misador, working late, so he wasn't going to be able to hop on the show, but definitely wanted to send his thoughts, and it echoed pretty much what we've been saying here today. Look, let's get into it with our keys to victory. We each give two keys one at a time about how we think our team can win the game. I'll go over to you, my guy, Andrew Faubert. What is your first key to victory in the wild card weekend?
Pressure. Honestly, from both teams. If you get enough pressure, if you just make sure the quarterbacks can't think, past 2 seconds, you're essentially almost guaranteed a very good chance at winning that game.
I like that. I like that. Ben, what you got, man?
I got run the ball, feed the buck, and then you set up for the play action pass, hit some deep shots. Keep the balance offensively. That's going to be the key to the game.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Ab, what you think, man?
Baker. We were just glazing Baker about his 4,500 yards, his 40-something touchdowns, glazing. But that man also leads the league in interceptions, gentlemen. Okay, 16. So honestly, keys to the victory. So I'm sorry. Let me add this stat also. Washington is currently we have +1 differential in turnovers. Tampa Bay -5. We need to win. We need to win the turnover battle, any way possible. Honestly, whether punching the ball out, fumbles, honestly, taking the ball away from Baker. That's what we need to do. We need to win we need to win the turnover battle, and that's how we will win this game.
I can dig it. Will, what you got, man?
That's one of Sean's favorites is talking about the turnover battle.
That's right. That's right.
So my key is going to be Jaden's ability to have a bailout. I don't think just because Eckler's coming back, I don't think we're going to have a running game. That is the Bucs' bread and butter on defense. And so I want us to go into it and saying we are going to build our offense through the pass, and we will come back to the run and build it in as we're being successful. He needs to have the hot routes. He needs to have someone when they are getting pressure, someone that he can dump that ball off to, because if we're going to have to slow down their defense by scaring them, that we can get some dumps, we can get some quick slants, we can take that away from them. Because the offense has to build through the pass.
Yeah. Absolutely. And my first key to victory is there is a reason why at the trade deadline we picked up one Marshawn Lattimore. It's because we knew we might have to face these guys again. And look, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop Evans, and let's shout out to him getting the 11th season, 13th season.
I'm putting up 13 because that's his number. Yeah, 13.
Shout out to him for getting that over 1,000 for another consecutive year.
First ballot,
but he's the one we're going to have to stop. Baker's going to do whatever. Bucky's going to do whatever. The team, the game, everything goes through him. He's your guy. Lattimore is the only guy that might not be able to necessarily stop him per se, but they go at it in the head. They go toe to toe, and it's always a war out there. So if Lattimore stays healthy, this is the reason why we got him. He has got to disrupt Mike Evans all day, and I think that kind of disruption and kind of getting him off his game, I think we can get the rest of it. All right, what is your last key to victory, Andrew?
Put up the dang points. Because like you guys say, too, this might end up being a shootout. So once you're at 25 at the half, I don't think it might be done. I really don't, unless it might just be defensive line gets in there to, get a couple sacks here and there, and the corners might just let the whole entire thing be an air raid offense for both of them. It could be a 48-49 final. It could be 45-43. It could be 20-23. Who the heck knows? But it's going to be about points at this point, too.
I can dig it. I like it. All right, Ben, what you think, man?
I think we got to get people that we normally don't get a lot of production out of. And I'm looking at guys like a Payne Durham. I'm looking at guys like a Devin Culp, as Isidore mentioned, or let's say I would say those two offensively. If we can get some good production out of those two guys, Culp, that can help our offense. And I'll say in one more key, we got to keep Washington off the field. And we saw the Falcons game. They ran that time of possession, took a lot of time off. We need to keep Jaden Daniels watching the game instead of being on the field.
Damn it, that's what I say about every other good offense. Don't say that about us, right?
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Right. Don't do that to us. Right. But that's true. That's yeah. I get it. Yo, Ab, what you think? What's your last one?
Sean, do you know who's fourth in the league in rushing offense?
Who?
Tampa. Do you know who's
Okay.
number 3?
Who?
Us. So
come on.
So I'm gonna say this, and Tampa's top 3 in rush defense. And so I know we were talking about how stout their rush defense is. So our keys to victory, we need to be able to run the ball, and that's going to be if we are able to run the ball. And I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but you said time of possession. That will jump on the time of the possession is us running the ball, get that up. And I'm gonna just say this last thing. I know it's several things I just said, but we also need to score at least 30. So I think if we score at least 30, we'll win.
Well, I like it. Will, man, what you got?
So my key defensively is going to be kind of going with what Ben was saying, stopping their running backs and tight ends from being pass catchers. We know we're going to match up Lattimore versus Evans. I think we've got a better matchup in this game with Sanderstill versus McMillan. So we have to eliminate some of those extra receivers that get forgotten about out there. Ab said it earlier. I don't think we're going to stop their run very well, but usually in the second half of games, our defense makes enough adjustments to stop the run that we're able to get off the field and get the offense back to give Jaden the ball again. And I think you're going to see more of that. I don't think we're going to shut down your run game, but I think we're going to go with more 3 defensive tackles up front like we've been doing. So then that's where my key is. Can we stop your tight ends and your 2 running backs from burning us with shorter passes?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm loving everything you guys are saying, and everything that we've said leads me to believe that this game will absolutely be close. And look, we've been talking this, Will, Ab, Guy, all of us been talking this for several years, but namely 4 years, we've been really talking about this. And even in those losing seasons, I've been saying one thing consistently, and that is complementary football. The offense is going to be good. The defense is going to be good. But this game is going to turn in the special teams. Who can get that punt return that flips field position? Who could pin their team deep? Whose field goal kickers make all their kicks and or miss all their kicks? So we happen to have a punt god in Tress Way. So I'm excited about that. All right, we'll see what happens with our return game. But we have got to definitely change the field position and pin you guys deep and take every opportunity to kind of affect the game in special teams. And I think that might be the difference in a game like this. I mean, we go back to all the times that we've played in history. You go back to the year that we had Dion on our team. And Dion returned that punt against you guys. That was a huge play.
God, that's
2000. Yeah.
I was like, am I in a dream right now? What are you talking about? I was like, oh, wait a second.
No, we got to shout out Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor had that one in the spitting game or whatever, where he picked up the fumble and returned it back for a touchdown. So we've played each other a number of times. It has been close. These games have always been tense. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of those times you guys gone on to go to the Super Bowl. I think the other time,
2020. Yeah.
No, not 2020. But then also,
no. Who did we go through?
No, it wasn't 02. We didn't play in 02. I don't think.
No.
We played in 2000.
I think it was 99.
99.
You mean the other year that was taken from us? Yeah.
That's right, because you guys lost to the Rams. Okay. We gotta we're gonna go ahead and move on. Appreciate y'all being with us. Wild Card Weekend score predictions. Here it is. Andrew, Foobs, what you got, man? What you think the score is gonna be in this game?
Well, I'm a gambling man, and to be completely honest with you, if you are going to gamble on it, take the over 49.5. If you can get it down to 47, that's probably a lot better. I'm going to go with something probably off the script a little bit because you'll probably get a safety in there somewhere. So I'm gonna say Buccaneers 25. I'm gonna say Commanders 23.
Ooh, okay. Ben, what you think, man?
Oh, I like that 25 there, Andrew. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a fun game, and I'm going to be honest with you. This might be more a really high scoring game. I'm going to go Bucks 34, Commanders 31.
Okay. I like that. I like that score. I like the score. Man, bring it home. Tell us how much we going to win by. Let's go.
31-13 us. Let's go. Let's go.
Defense.
Let's go.
Will, what you think, man?
I'm gonna try and channel my best Pat McAfee here. So the Washington Commanders are not the team if you have blood pressure problems. And in the last couple weeks, the way they win is Jaden Daniels has the ball at the end of the game and gets the game's last score. I don't see that changing. That is our formula to victory. The score will be, when he gets the ball, it's going to be 27-24, Tampa Bay leading. Jaden's going to drive us down. He's going to score the winning touchdown, 31-27. Dun, 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 dun. Fight for all DC.
Let's go. I love it. And I'm gonna, I know the 34 13 hurt you. I know that one hurt you. I know this one that he just said hurt you, but I'm gonna do something that stings a little bit different. Last time we played, Heineke was heard all around the world. We saw him come out the woodworks, but we still lost 31-23. Turnabout is fair play, ladies and gentlemen. It will be a one-score game. Washington wins it 31-23 in some fashion where he scored late in the game. I'm loving it. We're going on to play whoever else in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, but your season will come to an end in the same place where it has begun. We hope. We'll see.
Wow. What's Taylor Heineke doing these days?
Hey,
Chargers.
Back up.
He's in the playoffs. He's in the playoffs.
Oh, is he? Wow. Okay.
And the Rams, they kept Sam Howell out of the playoffs. If he was in the playoffs, then all Super Bowl hopes are out. Seattle's going to distance. Hey. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go.
The delusion on these North Carolina guys. And I thought I was bad with my Gators here sometimes. Like, what? Oh. Anthony Richardson.
Blue, baby. We won. We beat SMU, baby. Let's go.
RJ Davis, as the running back, you'd have a chance this year.
That's right.
He's showing Sam Howell like he was coached by Bill Belichick or something.
Right? If Belichick's even the coach of the Tar Heels after next week, we'll see.
He's coming, and he's going to change the game. Let's not take on all of you. I don't care. Let's go.
Well, I'll tell you this. I meant to say this when we were talking earlier, and I totally forgot. I purposely tried to not buy Commander's gear because I can't stand the name. This was given to me by my parents as a joke. They're like, here's a new shirt for you. But this week, I rushed on Fanatics a Jaden Daniels shirt for my son because he keeps asking me. I keep getting him Redskin jerseys. He's like, well, where's number 26 right now? I got him a Portis jersey for Christmas as like that you've grown into it. And I was like, oh, well, he doesn't play on this team. And he's like, well, where's the guys of where I'm wearing? So it will be here tomorrow. He's going to wear his Jaden jersey to school on Friday. And it's like, I'm just happy to be in the situation where we've got one more week to talk about, one more week to do a show. I normally never pick the Commanders in tough games like this, but I'm like, why not?
Wait, just where? Why aren't we talking about the Cowboys right now?
What?
Why? Why would they?
Let's talk football. We got the Commanders usually play. Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're not playing right now.
No, Janae's not very loud right now.
No,
I tried to call her.
It's a very quiet fan base right now.
It's been a quiet season from Janae.
I was really hoping for a rematch again, but I guess
I
we're gonna
can't
just
talk
have to
crap,
wait for
man.
another year.
Can't talk crap.
Well, she
What, Ben?
she already
Can't talk crap. They beat us, unfortunately.
she did mention that. She did mention that. And she's already predicted the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl next year. So, in typical Cowboys
yeah.
fashion.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs will win the Stanley Cup. And the New York Yankees are going to win the World Series. And Manchester United is somehow going to get back to glory days. What are we talking
I'm a Manchester United fan. That is going way too far.
I am too. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, yeah.
We got to shout out all you guys that came on. Andrew Faubert, Ben Cornett, our guy Ablo. We appreciate you guys coming on here, joining us. As a matter of fact, right now, I think this is a great time. Andrew, North Sports Dynasty, do you have anything coming up in the near future?
I am back live on Friday.
Yeah.
I did like the streamers. I don't have the streamers and stuff. Yeah, the pop. Woo, I'm back. Yeah. Took a little bit of a break off because holy crap, streaming services are getting expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, they are.
So I decided to go with a different one and I tried it out. And so we're going to go with that. And then we'll come back and we're just, we're going to talk the off-season stuff. Because you know how North Sports Dynasty is. Me and Alex and everybody have always done this kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, all these mock drafts out there, like it's getting ridiculous. We all know Tennessee's trading that first overall pick. So
we all know it.
It's interesting.
What?
Why not? Look what Chicago got, right? Chicago was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I want to do some content with you so we can go back and forth on why they do or do not. But I disagree with that wholeheartedly myself.
May I ask, just because we're here just now, who do you think they should right now take first overall?
If it was right now, and honestly, Will and Sean knows that I divulge into all this a little bit later after the season, but just from what I know right now, Cam Ward.
Yeah, he would be a good pick. He would be. I do think so. I also do think that if I was them, I can deal with one more year of the Will Levis project for a little bit. And then you get that other first round pick that would come in next year with the possibility of Drew Aller and the other guys that are there. I would just much rather that. And that's just me though. If I'm just looking at the bigger picture of things, of course. But Cam Ward would be fun. Cam Ward would be exceptionally fun there too.
I just have a different look at football. I feel that like when you're like top 5, you need a quarterback. You just don't give up that opportunity. You know what I mean? Especially if there are guys there that you can take. You know what I'm saying? So that's just because it's rare to be top 5. Like, especially if you're number 1 and then next year you're like, oh, we still need a quarterback. If you're going for number top 5, you're like you just shit. You're in a different type of level of a shitstorm. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, we're hooking up for sure. Me, you, and Alex are definitely talking for this offseason for sure.
All right, man.
I do see it both ways. As far as it's nice if you could trade that pick for multiple picks to build your team. But at the same time, we're looking at a quarterback-driven league, and right now, what are the Titans? Who's the last great quarterback they had? McNair.
I was going to say Tannehill, man.
Aaron McNair. Yeah,
it's Aaron McNair.
Yeah, the top 10 quarterback in the league. The Tennessee Titans need that. If they're going to have any kind of future, that's why you brought Brian Callahan in.
Sam Darnold.
If they can afford him.
I do believe they have a decent amount of cap space. Not the Commanders' $100 million that they just told me about before the show started.
It's gonna be nice.
Let's go. Oh yeah. Does Jaden Daniels need another second and a half in the offensive line? Guard, center, tackle, $100 million. Right,
get him a whole line. Get a whole line right there. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, and we look forward to all of that. Ben, have at it. 2-3 Ben Zone, face the heels. Anything coming up?
Yeah, pretty much have at it. It's normally on Fridays, but with my busy schedule right now, I'm just going to do random days and just pop it up there. You never know when I'll be on. Just again, my schedule
just like LeBron.
Really busy. Like what?
Just
Like
like
LeBron?
LeBron, right? Just randomly on playing random nights. Nobody knows. Pays for a nice subscription to go see.
Yeah, but better.
You know.
You know.
Right.
So yeah, that's what we got going. And Sean, we will talk some hoops, college hoops. I'll let you know when we can get a show going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
Oh
check that
yeah,
out.
bring back that 2-3 bend zone.
We
Yo,
will.
hey,
Yes.
you know we got our guy Ab Low on here, and I'm so glad I didn't schedule that impromptu off-season draft talk that just happened. But I know we got some things in the works. Talk to us, Ab. What some things you were thinking about getting into, man?
So I just needed the holidays to cool down, but just like Andrew, I'll be pushing out some content soon on, and everybody that knows me knows I have kind of a unique look on things. Ask Will, ask Sean. They don't agree with me half the time, but like I do see some things that is quite unique, and just it never pops up into people's way of thinking. And so I'll be pushing that out soon. Mostly Washington, but NFL in general. And I talk a lot, and a part of part of my analysis has to do with cap space. So honestly, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to there's several factors on how I look at things, and I'm gonna just bring you into my head and express it out to you guys. Sean's going to help me, and
Yes, sir.
we're
Yes,
going
sir.
to take it to the top.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I am excited. Yo, you don't know, man. I've been trying to get my man's in this because he talks to me and Will every single day. And every time we're on the show, we shout him out. I'm so excited about this. 2025 is going to do big things.
He's the one who said three weeks ago, Faubert, you said it. He goes, we need to get Jinty. We need to get the Boise running back because B-Rob isn't the home run hitter. This is the guy that offense needs. And Faubert earlier was like, hilarious. You guys need to be looking at this running back.
Just why the heck? I like how it's the same mentality. Why not? You want this offense is already great. Why give anyone an off season to try and stop it? And heck no, heck no.
Absolutely. Will, talk to him. Let him know where they can find us and where we'll be, man.
Yeah, absolutely. On Twitter X, Wash Football Week, Wash FB Weekly. Sorry. Follow us on Apple, Spotify. We have special content on Apple and Spotify on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. You can only get by following us. And then obviously we have our podcast every Wednesday. You can also catch on YouTube. Wash FB Weekly.
Let's go. Tune in, ladies and gentlemen, because listen, when we do this, it's no fun unless all of our people can get involved in it. So we definitely wanted to take the time to share everything that everybody's doing. These are all good people. They're taking time out of their day, research, talk the sport that we all love, go back and forth, but we're also learning from each other and being able to continue to spread this stuff out there. Even if these guys all dislike my quarterback. This is my quarterback.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, is that a Sam Howell jersey?
It's a Zacchaeus jersey.
Is that Zacchaeus?
What?
They retired the number. Okay, in my mind, they retired Sam Howell's number, and this is it.
Everybody,
right?
be nice to Sean. He's very sensitive. Let's we'll talk privately, Sean.
I'm gonna just send you I'm gonna send you some Mike Glennon jerseys. Some Josh Freeman jerseys. I feel as though what Sean is trying to represent for his team here right now.
All right,
this is also the same man that I'm also the same guy that said Carson Wentz was going to be the guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to to be the guy.
Don't you dare talk about the beard that way. He was amazing.
No, he was great. I bought the hype, and he lasted a quarter.
I did
one quarter.
It was fun in Tampa.
Sean, I believed in Wentz too. I believed in Wentz too. So I mean, we all can be wrong sometimes, but not all the time like you.
Yeah, like the
Just
Seminoles. Look at these Seminoles fans
Just
being like, "Oh,
sometimes.
Jameis Winston."
Yeah, but I'm man enough to admit Winston didn't work out.
Yeah,
Right.
and I admit when Vernon Hargraves didn't work out either. That was the worst Gator pick we've ever done. Oh my god!
No. It's Vernon Hemorrhoids. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all he was every time I watched him.
Yeah. All right, look, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out here. This is Washington Football Weekly. Definitely stay tuned for all of the other great content we got coming. Pay attention. College football, the CFP, those games are being played Thursday and Friday, and then obviously NFL playoffs this weekend. Tune in. One of our teams is going home. Hopefully it's them.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's them. But we appreciate them coming.
Hopefully it's us. That's right, Sean. Thank you. Points are right.
But hey, we got to get out of here. We appreciate you guys being here with us, and we will see you guys next time. Oh, one more thing. Our guys said it earlier in the season. I've been waiting a long time to play this clip, but I think it's fitting that Ab is on here. Ladies and gentlemen, see y'all next time.
That's right. All right, man. Hey, I've been waiting a couple days to say this. We're back. We're back.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.